Some of these reporters are almost starting to get it. Out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, this is one of several stories they've run over the last couple of years on witness intimidation and how it's a part of so many crimes out there and how so many crimes go unsolved because of this witness intimidation. Now, I'm just waiting for them to take it to the next level. The next time the cop comes out in Milwaukee and tells us how safe and how great they are and how the numbers are going down, 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 while everybody in town is starting to wonder if they're going up, up, up. I just want one reporter to say, hey, but what about the witness intimidation? Isn't that driving down the crime numbers? Then after that, I want them to ask the biggest, most important question of all. Isn't witness intimidation a black thing?
No case. It's a popular mantra for criminals who aim to silence the witnesses against them.
Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson shows you the simple technique prosecutors are using to catch witness intimidation in Milwaukee. Brian.
Brad and Stephanie, if you've been the witness to a crime, be prepared. The suspected criminal just might try to reach out and touch you from behind bars. It's no secret investigators are listening to jailhouse phone calls. But as you're about to hear for yourself, the bad guys keep on trying. In Milwaukee's most violent neighborhoods,
we're taught from being kids not to tell on people.
It's not just what you do that could be dangerous, but what you see.
I tried to run, I couldn't, my feet was planted.
Nakia Jones was sitting on this front porch near 29th and Locust when another man was shot and killed right in front of her eyes.
I was just scared because I didn't know what to do. You know, it was my first time ever going through anything like that, ever.
And that made her an instant target.
Because I was a main witness.
It's not easy.
It's the kind of thing Milwaukee County District Attorney John Chisholm battles every day.
It's not good enough simply to identify it. You have to disrupt it. You have to stop it from happening, and then you have to prosecute it.
Last year alone, his office charged more than 90 defendants with intimidating witnesses and victims. And time again,
man, make sure the don't press on the charges against me, dog.
They used the defendants' own words.
You don't gotta testify if you don't want to.
Against them.
It's just like always say, no face, no case. Point blank, period.
Much of what they uncover is more manipulation than intimidation.
I often use the word dissuasion.
Especially in cases of domestic violence.
I said, okay, I mean, I love you though.
You should see my face. You broke my damn nose.
I broke your nose?
Yes.
Carlos Davis punched the mother of his children in the face and pulled out chunks of her hair.
I said, I love you, killer.
Then just a few hours later, called her from jail.
Don't go, baby. Don't go. You good. You ain't got to go to none of the court days, killer.
Well, there's even an element of bribery.
Timothy Treadway was accused of molesting a 5-year-old girl, but when the victim and her mother failed to show up at trial, the case was dismissed, and prosecutors soon discovered why.
You're going to accept this little bit of money and not come, they can't do.
Treadway had offered the woman $400 not to come to court.
Just keep a low profile, that's it.
Why would a person do that unless they had actually committed the crime?
But when it comes to eliminating witnesses, it's hard to top Christopher Anderson.
The defendant was an enforcer for a very violent street gang.
Known by the nickname Guns, Anderson was a high-ranking member of Brothers of the Struggle, or BOS, and in October of 2016, he shot and killed Jarvis Johnson, whose brother was believed to have been a witness to a gang shootout on I-43.
The very next day, the defendant was involved in the shooting and the attempted homicide of a state's witness against a different BOS gang member.
Even after he was convicted of murder, Anderson tried to silence 3 more witnesses, passing this hit list to a fellow inmate.
He's not tripping and wants them rat ass and then the N-word. Dead.
Revenge, it's retaliation.
A lot of it is outright cold-blooded murder.
It's also nothing new.
Without no victim, there is no trial.
The Fox 6 investigators first exposed jailhouse intimidation way back in 2002. Our stories helped make it a felony in 2007, and the DA launched an official witness protection program in 2009.
When I talk to other major city prosecutors, they deal with the same issues, and they're actually looking at the Milwaukee model to try to adopt some of the practices that we use here.
Criminals in Milwaukee today are well aware.
This call will be recorded.
Their jailhouse phone calls are being screened.
They're listening to everything.
Still, it hasn't stopped them from trying.
Because they don't know any other way of communicating.
I'm ready to tell you guys the truth.
Courtney Stokes did not witness a homicide. The father of her child confessed to one.
He told me like, man, I done did something. I'm like, what you do? He was like, I done shot and killed somebody.
Shantrevious Harmon tried to keep her quiet.
Hey, just keep your mouth closed. Don't go to court. Don't tell them nothing else, man. I love you. I'm gonna be home in a couple of days, probably, man.
While at the same time conspiring to get his sister, his mother, and even his grandmother to give her a scare. Tell her, don't cross me, he wrote. Let her know how dangerous it is to be running her mouth. Innocent people get hurt for stuff like this.
Basically, like, I'm the only one going against him and testifying.
But the state's star witness against Harmon wasn't Stokes.
There's more than you.
It was Nakia Jones who saw Harmon pull the trigger.
Right is right and wrong is wrong.
And told the jury so.
You get butterflies in your stomach, all type of thoughts going through your head. You never know what can happen to you, but you know you're doing the right thing.
But there's one thing Jones never knew about this case.
And right up there, in the upper left-hand corner, there you are.
Until now.
Man, he got my daddy name, he got my grandmother name, my uncles, my auntie.
State's Exhibit 1.
Do what needs to be done, my.
It's a note Harmon wrote in jail with instructions for silencing witnesses he flagged as rats, including Jones.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words shall never hurt me.
She helped put a cold-blooded killer in prison.
You not a man. I'm a snitch, you're not a man.
Because she was not intimidated.
The Milwaukee DA's office started the Maurice Pulley Witness Protection Unit in 2009 after the 24-year-old Pulley testified against another man and was gunned down because of it. But prosecutors have been battling this problem long even before that. They worked with Fox 6 News in 2002 and again in 2006 to educate victims about witness tampering. And it sure looks like that education is paying off. They have now charged more than 800 offenders with intimidation since launching the unit 9 years ago.
Oh yeah, I remember the Maurice Pulley case. So what can you do if you're a victim or a witness and you do get these threats or these bribes or some sort of coercion?
The most important thing is just to recognize that if someone's talking you out of testifying or cooperating with investigators, that could be a crime. And if it happens, preserve any evidence you can. They say save your call history on your phone. Don't delete those text messages. Don't throw away any letters that have been written to you by the offender or sent to you maybe by someone, a third party who's relaying that message. And most of all, just make sure if it happens, tell police or prosecutors that it's happening. They say that's the only way they can stop it and, more importantly, keep you safe.
Out of New York, I love the headline. The headline writer knows exactly what's going on. The headlines writer talking about the district attorney of New York, Cyrus Vance. He's bragging now that he's not prosecuting misdemeanors and low-grade felonies anymore. They got more important things to do, I suppose, than enforce the law. De Blasio, he's now taking the cops out of every school in New York City. There are no more cops in schools in New York City. So what do you suppose will happen to the NUMBAHS once you remove the cops from some of the most dangerous classrooms, dangerous schools in New York City? The numbers are going to go down, down, down. The crime's going to go up, up, up. And everybody will be happy, except the victims of the crime and their parents who can't figure out what's going on because the adults are telling us, man, our school's never been safer. Don't you want to see the NUMBAHS? Here's the NUMBAHS. But questioning the numbers, questioning the people who compile the phony numbers, talking about witness intimidation as being a major factor in contributing to the phony numbers, that has a way of making the black kids angry.